ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम भगवते वासुदेवाय। महादेवालस्य गुणानंदन चक्षुरे तस्मै ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णाय तस्मै नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यारिणे श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य ज्ञानम द्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम केवल नाउ और still low. Hare Krishna. Keval,
Prabhu, the voice is low, Prabhu.
this is low. Low, okay.
Better than before.
Better than before.
Hare Krishna. Prabhu, it's still very low, Prabhuji. It's not
Very low.
audible. Yes.
What happened? Um, Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Is audible better or?
Yeah, audible.
It,
Prabhu.
it's better,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji, but if you can slightly increase it, it will be better.
Is
Otherwise,
it
it's
better?
audible. Yes, Prabhu.
Is it
Audible.
better
Audible.
now?
Audible.
Yes.
Sumandra Mataji, is it okay for you?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Okay, so Teachings of Queen Kunti, chapter 24. In the Bhagavad Gita 3.27, it is said, Prakrite kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashah ahankara vimudhatma kartaham iti manyate. This verse indicates that because the living entity has associated with a certain quality of nature, nature is making him dance according to that quality, and thus one is thinking, I am this or I am that. This information provided in Bhagavad Gita is the basic principle of understanding, and it will give one freedom. What does this last statement mean? Anybody wants to explain? This information provided in Bhagavad Gita is the basic principle of understanding, and it will give one freedom. What freedom? Any thoughts? Okay, what is the use of actually understanding these modes of nature?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. This
Yeah.
is this is showing how the three modes of nature,
Hmm.
when you are in contact with it, how it affects what you think and how you go down. The story of Ajamal is very, very clear with this three modes of nature.
Okay.
Like from a Brahmin to the forest to seeing a prostitute, then to slipping, then getting somebody in his life and coming back. I mean, it very clearly indicates how the three modes of nature acts and how your reactions to that, how you are dragged into it, and how you react. Even
Okay.
in our daily lives, so we are not all. At least I'm not all the time like like your sense gratification, and as Prabhupada says, any one of them goes. Yeah, why you end up doing nonsense then sense. So the three modes of nature do play a part in. This is what I understand with this.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Okay. Anybody else has any other thoughts?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Prabhu, Krishna and Bhagavad Gita says that it's important for us to transcend these three material modes of nature.
Okay. Yeah. So actually in this chapter on modes of material nature, Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada is actually saying in the first purport only. He says that one who understands this actually will become liberated. This is actually liberation. Freedom actually means liberation. right? Because one who knows the three modes, he actually has to start. How should one? So this is for a Gyani. For a Gyani, what does a Gyani do? Gyani sees that okay, there are these three modes, and their modes, these modes are controlling one up a human being like this. And so he starts recognizing, identifying his own nature, and then he, because jnana, right, platform of knowledge, so he starts he understands, saying that okay, I have to move from tamoguna to rajoguna, rajoguna to satvaguna, and he keeps trying to transcend. So whatever path we use, right, but we have to understand this whole material world is just controlled by these modes, and yeah, we have to transcend. So once we come to this understanding, which is the basic principle, it will give us freedom, because we are now going to get unbound. We are going to become free from the shackles of material nature. Um, but yeah, but just knowledge is not enough, right? We have to try also. So sadhana bhakti, see, the process of sadhana bhakti is so powerful that it automatically helps us transcend, right? And the answer to this question, Traigunya Vishaveda, Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna, Krishna actually just tells Arjuna, Krishna tells Arjuna, saying that you have to transcend the modes, okay? But then he doesn't tell what the mechanism is, right? So, and subsequently in later chapters, Krishna actually reveals the process. Just give me a second. Sorry, in subsequent chapters, Krishna actually answers this or gives the process, and he says that the process is devotional service, but the process is pure devotional service. This we have to understand. If we have to transcend the modes, we have to practice pure devotion, because mixed devotion means doing devotion mixed with the modes, and that's not going to help us, right? So transcending the modes, that is the freedom. And for that freedom, one has to practice pure devotional service. And in real and in day-to-day life, how should we, what should our consciousness be? Yes, we are practicing sadhana bhakti. It is having its own impact on us, effect on us. And yeah, based on the association we have, etc., etc., slowly, steadily, we'll make progress. But what is also important is to not indulge in this nature of ours, right? So for example, somebody, yeah, from previous conditioning, whatever, we still have some anarthas from previous life. We don't indulge in them, meaning we don't encourage them. We don't create situations which is going to make those anarthas stronger. This is the only thing we have to do. In the practice of bhakti, we are not trying to get rid of the anarthas by some other mechanism. For that, we are doing sadhana every day, and it will automatically work, provided we don't increase, exacerbate, or we don't create situations which is going to increase these tendencies, these lower tendencies. That's all that we have to do. And yeah, that's pretty difficult though. So one of the ways that I used to follow, or I try to follow even today, is when when I end up doing something which I shouldn't, then basically it's Prabhupada has said many times, and especially in this Apichetsu Duracharo, that verse, Prabhupada actually says that one who is sincere um, knows that what he's done is wrong, and he sincerely repents. He sincerely repents, right? So this is important, that if by chance we end up doing something which is not conducive for progress in bhakti, we should at least profusely repent. We should repent almost to tears, right? And it's absolutely perfect. It's perfect to actually shed tears on the devotional platform, the spiritual platform, thinking that I'm not able to do. And the more remorse we have, the more be feeling bad about ourselves, about our actions, the more we'll become pure. Right? So, but we should not take it lightly. We should not just say, it's okay. Yeah, this is I'm conditioned. And, we take it for granted. We are somewhat very casual about it, very casual about our fall downs. We should not be casual. We should be repentant. We should feel really miserable. And that's all that is required, actually. Either try to prevent, don't, you know, avoid those situations which will increase these modes or these tendencies, or if you end up willingly or unwillingly doing some nonsense, then we should actually repent profusely and beg for strength, beg for forgiveness, everything. And that sincerity itself will pull us out. Of course, it will take us some time, depending on how intense we are about getting out of that nonsense. But yeah, it is freedom. Modes of nature, coming out of modes of nature is freedom. And it's so wonderful, right? I mean, we all experience this to different extents where, we know that our lower modes, which was troubling us so much, now at least troubling us less, right? And as we make progress, it will stop troubling us. And it should stop troubling us. The most essential education is that which enables one to become free from the bodily concept of life. But unfortunately, scientists, philosophers, politicians, and other so-called leaders are misleading people so that they become more attached to the body. So Prabhupada here is explaining that this freedom means becoming free from the bodily concept, which means becoming free from these three modes, which is bodily concept. It is a human life that offers the opportunity to become Krishna conscious, but these rascals are stopping that opportunity by alluring people to bodily designations, and therefore they're the greatest enemies of human civilization. See, scientists, philosophers, politicians, and so-called leaders. So we have to do our bit in at least educating people around us. First of all, we should not get carried away by all this nonsense propaganda, and we should at least help others also to understand how these people are bogus. Mm. Um, because Prabhupada is clearly saying they're alluring people to bodily designations. How are scientists alluring people to bodily designations?
Because they are mostly involved in material advancement.
Yeah, material advancement. They're creating new devices, new this, new that, and saying buy this, buy that. That's what they're doing. Mm. Philosophers, politicians, anyway, useless, we know, so-called leaders. So anyway, so the whole idea is that mostly people are just um, trying to drag us down to the bodily platform, and it's a struggle. It's a struggle. It's not easy, right? So it's not easy to get over, right? But we have to somehow fight. One attains a human body after evolving through 84 lakh species, life forms, from aquatics to plants and then to trees, insects, birds, beasts, and so on. Um, so one more thing, right? I mean, all of us should be telling people that this Darwin was bogus, right? Because, and how do you tell people? And Darwin's theory was wrong, obviously, right? So how do we tell people Darwin's theory was wrong? I started using this saying that I pull out, pick someone from the audience and from people who are sitting, and then I say, I'm going to tell something. I'm not saying this. Darwin said this. Okay, so don't beat me. And I tell him, I look straight at his face and say, your grandfather is a monkey, right? And then obviously, then I ask saying that, how do you feel? Do you feel nice if I tell that your grandfather is a monkey? Obviously, people will say no. I said, this is what Darwin said. And Darwin said that, and we by hearted it. We vomited it in the exam and we got marks. And we're happy accepting it. And when somebody says something from the Shastra, then we say, I don't believe this. This is our nonsense. No, people do not know what is the next step in evolution, but that is explained in Bhagavad Gita, Yanti Deva Vrata Devan. As the next step is in evolution, one may, if one desires, go to a higher planetary system. Although every night people see so many planets and stars, they do not know what these higher planetary systems are. including scientists. But from the Shastra, the Vedic literature, we can understand that on these higher planetary systems, material comforts are available that are many, many times greater than those on this planet. On this planet, we may live for at most 100 years, but on higher planets, one can live for a lifetime we cannot even calculate. For example, the lifetime of Brahma, who lives on the highest planet, is stated in Bhagavad Gita, Sahasra Yuga Paryantam Aharyat Brahmano Viduhu. We cannot calculate even 12 hours of Brahma with our mathematical figures. But even Brahma has to die. Even though one may have a long duration of life, no one can live prematurely in this material world. Permanently, sorry. No one can live permanently in this material world. Nonetheless, if one prepares oneself, one may go to the higher planetary systems. Or similarly, one may go to Pitrulokas, which is the lokas of ancestors. There one may meet one's forefathers if they have been eligible to go there. So Pitruloka is also Swarga, is also uh, is one of the planets in the Svargaloka. Right? So if somebody is qualified to go there, he will go there. Similarly, if one desires, one may also remain here on earth. Or Yanti Madhya Jinopi Mam, if one becomes a devotee of Krishna, one can go to him. Now we keep hearing this. One becomes a devotee of Krishna, one can go to him. But how much are we yearning for this? How much are we greedy to achieve this? This is what is going to make the difference between whether I'm going to go or whether I'm going to remain here. No. Obviously, when we ask this question, in a class, saying how many of you want to go back to Krishna, everybody raises their hands. Then I say, 1 second, conditions apply. There is star, 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 endless stars at the end of this statement. Conditions apply. Then I ask a question. Okay, so do you want to try this exercise here? Quickly, 2 minutes. Raise your hands on, or you can just unmute and say yes. How many of us want to go back to Krishna? Okay, so Mantra Mataji wants to go back. Nakul Prabhu wants to go back. Laksha Mataji wants to go back. Then Radhika Mataji wants to go back. Who else? Arun Prabhu wants to go back. Yanendra Prabhu. Okay, everybody wants to
Yes,
go.
yes. Obviously, yes. Yeah.
Okay. Nagendra Prabhu wants to go back. So everybody wants to go back. Okay. Now I'm going to tell what. Yeah, Pratyusha Mataji. Everybody wants to go back. Assume. Otherwise, you won't be hearing these classes. So if suppose say then now the conditions apply. Now what are the conditions? If suppose say I say, are you ready to go back home, back to Godhead tomorrow? No, we are thinking this going back to Godhead means okay, it's something in the future, sometime whenever it is going to happen. Obviously, a prerequisite for that is we have to die. We can't go back to Krishna without dying. We have to give up this material body. Okay. So now if I ask the question saying that are you ready to go back to Krishna tomorrow? Somebody wants to lower their hands now. Which obviously means that you have to be prepared to give up all the attachments that you have now. Like now. And obviously, if we don't give up those attachments, we have no entry. I mean, we can say, I want to go, but who's going to take us? Right? So please understand this statement, which is why, I mean, many of Prabhupada's statements are like this, they are like, what is the word? Unassuming. As in, we'll just like read it and as a matter of just go past it. Right? But one statement like this, should make one think, okay, if one wants to go to Krishna, one can go. But do I really want? Do I really want it so much that I am ready to give up all the nonsense that I am attached to right now? Right? I mean, and that is the answer. That is the answer to the question. That is the actual answer to the question, saying that how many of us want to go back? We are not talking about some future business, right? We are talking about here, now, and here and now business. So we should understand, saying that really, how much do I want to? How much am I intensely desiring to go back to Krishna? Am I really? I mean, question is there anything in this material world that can hold me back? Krishna is calling me, come, and then there's some nonsense, trivial thing that I'm holding on to. Yesterday I was talking to somebody. I mean, very nice devotee, senior devotee, has been practicing Krishna consciousness for many years, and very nice. And then that person was Mataji, and she was saying that that she has some fear of traveling in public transport after 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, like that. I simply told her only one thing, Mataji, this can't prevent you from going back to Krishna. And this, because you're afraid for whatever. I mean, she's very rich family, very protected, always has had a driver, etc. For whatever reason, I said, like, your driver is not there. How does it matter? Get on a taxi, get on an auto. What does it, how does it matter? You're a devotee of Krishna. Krishna is going to protect you. And Krishna is now saying, oh, this devotee has all the qualifications, but she's afraid of this material world. She doesn't want to travel after 6 o'clock. Whatever it is, it's just an example I'm giving. If the devotee is hearing, I'm asking for forgiveness. But the point was, actually it hit me also very strongly, saying that, it can be as small as this, as small as this. Maybe it's big for her, but but it's really small, right? Overall, if you just objectively, if you look at it, it's a very small thing. And then I was thinking, see, we get attacked, we get stuck to such trivial things, and we really don't want to go back to Krishna. So we, all of us, have to reflect in our own lives. What are those small, big things that we are attached to, because of which is just holding us back? So much I'm trying to, encourage devotees to go out, distribute books. Very few devotees are getting inspired. Very few devotees. Of course, it's my own purity. That is different. But I'm just repeating what Prabhupada has said, right? That you're saying that at least 1 month, for 1 month, can't we keep away our personal engagements? How critical are they? How critical? I mean, are they like life threatening? Are they going to, somebody is going to die because of that? And is it that we can't, like squeeze them between our distribution schedules? Can't we stretch a little bit? I mean, so it just, beats me. And yesterday, morning session, nobody came. I was in Hulimau and I was talking to Gyan in the point. He said, morning session, koi nahi aaya. Like some 2, 3 devotees went out. That evening also, he was saying, nahi, Prabhu, बहुत कोई ऐसे नहीं आ रहा है. फिर then I was happy that at least then few more devotees joined him. Right? See, I mean, like, nobody's saying that we have to give up our material responsibilities, right? But temporarily, for 1 month, we can't sacrifice our routine schedules. What are we going to go back to Krishna? Really, I mean, we have to really think about these things, There are some things our acharyas are asking, like Prabhupada, he's asking at least once in a month, do this for me. And we are here, prioritizing our own personal lives over what Srila Prabhupada wants us to do. One small trivial thing, just giving our time. Mm. So I don't know. I mean, like really, that is why bhakti is not about lip service, I keep giving this example in new places where I go and tell them what is bhakti. To explain them, I give them this example. Many of you might have heard already from me. There's a new couple, so get married, and yeah, and then whatever first day the husband is going to office, and yeah, it was those days where the Mataji was at home, and she was, obviously she was feeling separation, and husband was also feeling separation. Okay, and yeah, husband went to work, and then that wife is thinking, what shall I do? What shall I do to make him happy when he comes back today evening? And then she decided, okay, I'm going to get him some very nice gift. And then she goes out and she's on the streets and literally going from one shop to another, one mall to another, wherever she is. And then she's trying, nothing. She's not able to get anything that she wants. And going. Now it's already 5:30, and she herself, like, she possibly even forgot to eat. She was like so engaged, involved in this. And then, her husband is going to come back home by 6:30, and then 5:30, she just manages to find something which she exactly wanted to give to her husband. And then along with that, many small gifts, this, that, flower bouquet, blah, blah, etc. And then she comes back home, and she's just in time, and she's, gets herself, dresses herself up nicely, etc., etc. And then ding dong, bell rings. And she opens the door, and then obviously the husband is standing there, happy to come back home. And then, drama. So basically, just picturize that lady just now, she's holding a bouquet in front of her face. Her face is behind the bouquet, and then, all that, um, emotions, love, and this and that, and all that. And then happily she gives him the bouquet, and then one by one, all the gifts that she had got, etc., etc. And they're very happy. And then both of them are thinking, oh, people say this marriage is not good. See, we are so happy. All this is going on. Then 6:30 say 7:30 ho gaya, 7:30 say 8:30, and now husband is getting hungry. He was the poor guy working all day, and then he's had food only in the afternoon, and then he wants to have lunch, have dinner. And then he's peeping. He's like trying to see, look at the kitchen. Kitchen seems to be spick and span, perfect, right? No sign, no sign of any cooking. And this was not the days of Swiggy, right? So, and then husband is like, then suddenly he asked saying that, is there anything? Can we eat something? And the wife like goes, oh my God, oh, I'm so sorry. I was like full day out today searching for, gifts for you. And I just totally forgot that I had to cook. And then Fatafat, she makes some khichdi and then gives him. And then the same thing happens the second day. And then now husband is thinking, oh, okay, this is not good. I won't be able to manage this for long. So then next day morning before going to work, he tells her saying that, please, it's okay if you don't get any gift for me. I'm happy with just being with you and, spending time with you. But if you can please, make sure that you have some food ready by the time I come. I'm really hungry. Which means that, we can't do bhakti like this. What do we learn from this? What do we learn from this story?
We are missing the essentials, and we are just covering.
Okay.
That.
Okay. Something else. Something else. Anybody else? What was the wife trying to show? She was trying to show her love towards the husband, isn't it? She was trying to show her love towards the husband by getting all those gifts and flowers and this and that and all that. But we should understand love doesn't mean, please hear this. Love doesn't mean giving what I want to the person I love. Love doesn't mean giving what I want to the person I love, but giving what the person I love wants. So we should understand what the person wants. I love a person, then I should understand what that person wants and then give that to that person. That is love. Right? So if we say I love Srila Prabhupada, he's changed my life. So then we should understand what does Prabhupada want me to offer to him? What do our acharyas want us to offer to them? What does Krishna want us to offer to him? What does our Guru want us to offer to him? Right? And that's what we should try to do. So, we should not just do whatever we want to do and then say, I love Krishna. I love my Guru. I love Srila Prabhupada. We should do what they want us. They want from us. Whatever they want from us, we should try to do. So only then we can actually become a devotee. That's what it means to become a devotee, right? Is to do what the Lord wants. Okay, I think I'll stop here because it's not wonderful. Okay, so I'll stop there. If anybody has any questions, comments, feel free. Hare Krishna. Anything? Anybody?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, there was one line, Prabhu, like scientists, philosophers, and politicians So philosophers, can you quote an example, Prabhu? Like,
Yeah, I mean, what are philosophers? They're just mentally speculating about this and that and all that, right? And uh, no, who are those philosophers who are actually talking about Krishna consciousness? Take so many philosophers of today. I don't want to name any of them, okay? But they're all big people. I mean, I know so many educated people I know who are big fans of these speakers, and they're philosophers. Philosophers meaning they don't talk directly about mundane material things, but what they talk indirectly actually talks only about material things. Right? And Prabhupada was very, very candid about this, right? Like he openly blasted so many people of his times who were just cheating people, cheating in the name of spirituality. These are philosophers. Right? They speak some philosophy, some nonsense philosophy. Somebody says karma mimamsa. All these Kannada, Jaimini, all of them, right? They were all philosophers and they were all atheists. Many of them were atheists. Many of them, uh, they just didn't approve or support or endorse the teachings of Krishna. They're big philosophers. So there are many like that in present age also, who are talking about various things and people are hearing from them, but they're not giving the actual philosophy. They are not telling that you're not this body, you're spirit soul. Stop trying to enjoy this material world. That only Prabhupada said. You know whom these people are, so I don't want to name them. Quite a few, and people are being cheated because they're being said, this is spirituality. You come here, just do whatever nonsense you want. That's all. It's okay. So these are philosophers cheating people. Making so what philosophers do is, while the others don't even understand bodily platform, spiritual platform, philosophers understand, but they're afraid of pulling their people away from material platform because they think they're going to lose those followers. So they will just continue to soft pedal on the material platform and not say anything harsh, not say anything direct, because they're afraid we're going to lose people. Everybody's worried about following. Mhm. Everybody wants followers. And so they will cheat by not giving the truth. They are philosophers.
thank you, Hare Krishna.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. It's good. Good to try to understand every bit of what Prabhupada has written. Yeah. Okay. Anything else from anybody?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
I don't know if it is right to discuss it in a public this thing.
Okay.
Like Prabhu, you said like when you do something which like you're really, then you should repent for it,
Uh-huh.
and then you should not be doing that again,
No, that's
right?
correct. But we are in a
Yeah,
very that is
yeah.
the problem with the
My
modes, right?
problem.
Yeah.
See, like
Yeah.
Prabhu, like I am a little snappy, and then I don't at home I'm talking, and I'm short and I'm very sensitive, and
Mm-hmm.
so many times within me and Prabhu, like we have this tug of war, and then I feel, why did I do it? But
Yeah.
it's not easy to work on it. Also, it's not easy, and the more and sometimes then it comes up to your Krishna conscious also. Then it's like your it's a tug of war. How do you work on it, and how do
Yeah.
you sincerely regret on it? It's very, very difficult. It is. I
Yeah.
don't know. Like, I mean, I hope I'm not like in
No, no, no,
another.
no, no. I think it's a practical problem that everybody faces, right? Like I keep saying, you are our spokesperson, right? Whatever everybody has in their minds, you will speak out and help everybody by asking that question. See, basically, I think, I mean, I can speak from my own experience here. So obviously, I'm not so exalted. But see, what I have seen is as and how, I mean when as I read Prabhupada's books, what became more apparent to me is that what I am is not what Prabhupada wants me to be, right? And so this became very important for me to become somebody who can be uh, who is aligned to Prabhupada's requirements, right? Like if somebody says you're a Prabhupada man, I wanted to feel like somebody should call me I'm a Prabhupada's man. right? And so, which means that everything we do, every small thing that we do has to be aligned to what Srila Prabhupada is saying in his books. So my thought process has always been, and it hopefully continues to remain, is to compare my behavior, attitude, thought process, whatever I'm doing with what Prabhupada has written in his books. And it's a very serious standard gauge for me, right? Like if I'm not there, then I feel miserable. I feel miserable because I feel failed to become Prabhupada's man. And it's very important for me, right? So then what I do is, whenever I do something, I know that I'm helplessly doing it because of my previous conditioning, and I'm not progressed so much in bhakti that I'm able to overcome my own anarthas. Yeah, that is anartha nivritti, right? So we are struggling with it, but I know that I'm struggling. I don't like it. Simple thing to say that I don't like it. For example, if I'm snappy, and I'm also very snappy, and but I'm very snappy only on the spiritual platform, not on the material platform. But even on the spiritual platform, I'm not supposed to be like that. I know that, right? And I'm struggling. I'm struggling. Yes. How do I balance getting things done the way our acharya has wanted, at the same time, you know, uh, continue to remain around people and help them progress, and me also to progress. So then I realizing that, oh, this is jiva himsa. This is very bad. It's going to prevent me from making spiritual progress. Then it becomes it is almost like a mission for me. And what is a mission? Is just to remain super conscious about this one anartha that I have, which I want to overcome, right? And what happens there is the helplessness, my own helplessness to not get myself out of it. I'm helpless. I can't get myself out of it, right? And that helplessness looms, right, hugely in front of me, and which makes me feel so tiny. And then I fall at the feet of Guru and Acharyas and Krishna, saying that, please help me. I don't like this, but I'm not able to. I'm just not able to. And it's a good thing to preach, because when you preach, you become even more, what do you say, very focused on that, right? Or sensitive to the fact that, oh, I'm preaching and I'm not able to follow, right? It might not be that specific point. Maybe I'm not preaching that specific point to others because I myself am not following. But just because others are hearing from me, that means that, I'm in some way or form standing in a position of a guru, right? And then I'm doing some nonsense. So when we preach, we become, we it make we really feel miserable. We really feel miserable, and there's nothing else, no option but to just repent and feel sorry about it. So yeah, I mean, we have, see, if we don't sincerely regret, that means that we have not really heard, right? Because if we have heard that, and if Prabhupada even once somewhere has written, this is not good, this is not the behavior of a devotee, then it should be enough for us to pain us, right? And it's not our self endeavor at all. See, we should understand, if it was within our abilities, then we would have gotten over it much earlier. It just be that it is still lingering in spite of us doing chanting and doing devotional service, just basically means that it's something deep rooted and very strong, strong conditioning. So which means that we have to just beg for mercy from Guru and Krishna. That's all. There's no other option. There's simply no other option. But that won't happen unless we regret. We sincerely regret. Because if we don't sincerely regret, then we are not really serious about it. That's what it means. That's been my approach. Okay. Okay. Should we close?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Thank you very
Ah,
much. Jagat
thank
Guru
you.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpatar vishta kripa sindhu bhyo patitana bhavane bhyo Vaishnava bhyo namo namo. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna.